It seems like there is a lot of mirroring happening recently. It's just been after Christmas 2025, and we are just a few days away until the new year. And it seems like everybody's feeling this cycle, not just because we all know the year's ending, but it's also this energetic feeling of a lot of things are ending, closing out, completing for something new to begin. Not just the year, but in energy, feel it spiritually, and maybe even experiencing it physically as well. But it does feel like there's so much mirroring happening, and I don't know if it's since we are coming to this completion and this ending in different ways of living, different patterns we've held on to, habits, ways of doing things, our particular relationships, and it's like reverting back to what we know. It's like this needs to become aware to us for us to see it and understand it, and why we feel the way we do. Why do we take jabs at others, or why do we mirror, and especially in the time that we do it. And I'm just seeing it a lot at the end of this year. But mirroring, it's like when you have a conversation with somebody, or you're sitting there watching videos or people speak or see people's posts, and you feel like it's directed towards you, and sometimes you feel like it's competition, or you feel like you have to get defensive or defend yourself and your truth. That's like mirroring. The psychic or spiritual or mental like jabs. And it's just like when you become aware of it, you know, I've been there before where like I've gotten defensive, you know, and stuff, but I like came to this point of like, it's laughable now because it's so predictable. It happens so often. And these little competitive, envious, jealousy type of like jabs and pokes at you. And you just gotta be like, you know, whatever floats your ego. You know, I mean, if it makes them feel better, whatever, like let them float their own boat or float their own ego. And you know, there was a point where I wanted to just be like, yeah, I told you that like a year ago and you didn't listen to me, and now you're telling me, thinking I have no freaking idea when I was the one that told you, you know? And it's just like, no, I'm not gonna play that game. It's so silly and so immature, and I'm not gonna play that game. So I just kind of let them float their own boat and feed their own ego. They're gonna find it somewhere, some way, somehow anyway, right? I don't feel the need to have to be like, yeah, I told you that like a year ago and you blew me off and never acknowledge what I told you, or my advice, or what I learned, or what I was believing in, or whatever, you know. And oh, now you're gonna come back and say you learned about this or that and how big of a deal it is. It's like, hello, did you freaking even listen to me when I told you that? It happens all the time. So it's like, why even bother? Why even bother? You know, they're just gonna have to learn at some point, hopefully, right? And we do like seem to have to come to a point of like choosing how we are gonna react, right? Within ourselves and with others. And so now it's just, it becomes like laughable and predictable, literally predictable. It's just like choosing not to fall into those loops and those old patterns and cycles of the old paradigm, the old ways, lower dense energies in situations. And like you have to choose, like, Do you want to continue to repeat these patterns over and over and over and over again? You know, because it's not fun. So it's like, yeah, having to come to this point of like choosing. We all have discernment. We all have free will, you know? And so it really is up to each individual, each of us, on how we're going to react and deal with these situations. But there's a reason for it. It's for you to recognize that this is being mirrored back to you, for you to heal, for you to recognize, for you to see why there's this pattern happening, so the pattern can be resolved, dissolved, and regenerated into something brand new and cleared out, healed. It seems like everybody's dealing with this in some way. So like I said, you could be feeling it spiritually, physically, energetically, or all of the above, you know? And so when these mirrors happen, or you feel like there's a target on your back, or you feel like you're just getting like poked at or jabbed at, and maybe sometimes it is true, right? Maybe it is, but it is for us to become aware so we can maybe even protect ourselves without having to defend in an egotistical way, but in a more like higher self-connection way, in a compassionate way, not just for yourself, but for them as well. Trying to understand maybe why they are doing it, and then also understanding why you feel that way. And like I said, maybe it is true, maybe it isn't, you know, but I do feel it is for us to heal, for us to end these patterns and these cycles that have been going on for a long time. You know, competition, jealousy, envy, feeling frustrations or anger towards others. You know, it really is a reflection of something going on within. And so we need to become aware of it, right? The mirroring is happening for a reason. I do feel there's a reason to everything, personally. And I feel that we are here to learn, grow, heal in many different ways, and close a lot of karmic cycles and contracts, relationships, or renew. Doesn't have to be like you have to leave behind people literally, but renew relationships and contracts and energies, so there can be this liberation, individually and collectively. This awakening going on, there's been multiple awakenings, right? But it's very different. It's more like focused on us as individuals, even though we're all collectively connected, but it's more individually focused. And where you are at spiritually, I do feel it's part of the activation, the awakening, the ascending of individuals, the collective, the planet. And for us to be able to move into this new earth, the new energy, we have to become aware of these things. So with the mirroring, my advice is to not take it so personally, but try to understand it from different angles, different perspectives. I feel like that's what really brings in this healing and understanding. All right, so I just wanted to share that, just my thought and feeling of the day. I am gilding the Golden Future Oracle. How perfect is that? Very significant. Synchronicities, connections are literally around us at all times. It's just recognizing it, pinpointing it, understanding it, and becoming aware about it. So that's really neat as well. It seems like synchronicities and these connections are becoming a bit more like easier for all of us. So really cool. All right, cheers to a new golden future. And I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and feelings about this too, if you would like to comment below. Abundant love and light, so be it, so it is. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.